Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ali Tahir 60 at your service again. I think we're all kind of aware of all the issues and points that I'm probably going to raise with regards to what's happening at our local masjid. A masjid that is capable of holding 2,000, 3,000 worshippers. We have Ramadan coming up within 7 weeks. We're at loggerheads with this committee that are choosing not to step down, are choosing not to do the most sensible and logical thing. This is a community masjid. It's a community masjid. It's not a masjid for a select few or a number of people or for a clique or for a certain number of individuals from a certain part of the world. Anyway, there has been a lot in the last week with regards to what's taken place at the masjid, with regards to the madrasa opening and the masjid remain closed. I did speak to the madrasa teacher, Mubashir. We're not going to call it madrasa. I think I'll refer to it as a tuition center because that's exactly what it is. When you're charging 200 children, £400 per children, that's £80,000, even though the masjid is still in arrears of 70k. But I think more pertinently, the reason why I wanted to make this video today, this video is generally going to be based on rebuking and rebutting the points that Mehboob Behimani, or Bamani, I'm not really too sure how you pronounce his individual's name. In fact, I saw the video. I only watched about 1 minute 57 minutes of the video and then I had to turn it off because I detest this individual's even looking at him somewhere. If I see a picture of him on my phone somewhere, there's lots of social media pictures and videos going around of this individual, the chairman of Wembley Masjid at the minute, the non-elected chairman of Wembley Masjid, and his voice as well for that matter. This video is going to be about rebuking the points, some of the points that he raised, and you have to understand that I haven't been with this issue since the start, though I have been involved intermittently or in a transient way since the last 2 or 3 years, but I think over the last 5 months I have become more and more involved in this matter. So Mr. Behimani released a video for the website, which is it's a good website. MashaAllah, the brothers are doing a really, really good, sterling effort with regards to putting dawah and putting some really concise information out there. However, I felt that the interviewer, the journalist, could have been a bit more pressing and a bit more, probing with his questions, so to speak. That there was a lot of stuff that we know about, which I'm now going to cover just maybe 2 points, and to highlight there will be a serious rebuttal from the brothers that do have the back histrionics of what's been going on at the masjid. Do Not Donate as an initiative, as an energetic initiative, as a peaceful protest has achieved its objective. Mr. Behmani has made that clear. However, at the same time, he contradicts himself and states in the video that there are hundreds of people that are still donating, and they have massive reserves in the bank account. So it begs the question, why did you have to use the sadaqah money? If you have massive reserves, have you returned that sadaqah money to its appropriate account? Anyway, the video was released yesterday, Sunday, on the 5 Pillars website, and slightly deviating there, on the 5 Pillars website, and it was basically giving the masjid's side of the story, which some would argue that's not really important, and some would argue, no, I think they should have a fair crack at the whip. They should be able to state what their concerns are with regards to what has been done, what has taken place over the last 6 to 7 months. Would like to have a massive appreciation to the brothers and sisters who were involved with this whole issue from the outset, and they've done a lot. They've done a hell of a lot, showing us light with regards to where we can take this issue and where we are now taking this issue. So I'm just going to address a few salient points from Mr. Behmani's interview, which lasted approximately 23 minutes, if I'm correct, where he gave an interview within the office of the masjid, stating a number of points, making allegations, unfounded, untrue allegations. They are allegations. They are just allegations. So, Mr. Behmani, I've actually to write this down because you have to understand this is, I had 22 points at one time, but they've fairly been. They've been pretty much discussed. So again, getting back to Mr. Behmani's interview yesterday, which featured on the 5 Pillars channel, and we just want to rebuke and address some of his points that he made around a number of issues that have taken place and a number of concerns that we have as well as a local Muslim community. We have been donating to the masjid. Sponsoring the masjid with its prayer mats program under Imam Abdul Sattar. But however, since this committee took power, it wasn't going to happen. It really wasn't going to happen. So, Mr. Behmani, I'm addressing you straight, Mr. Chairman. You see your video, and I think it's one of your opening gambits that you have a legitimate fatwa provided you by some alim, okay, stating that you can use sadqa money, the Oxford English Dictionary definition or the Arabic definition of sadqa is to provide for the needy, leave a legacy. You don't provide for people who have big bellies, who are, most of your committee, I wouldn't fail to, I'd like to allude to that. However, maintenance, paying staff, wages of the masjid. And then you go on to state, there was some sort of confusion around, you state that zakat money can't be used on the masjid, however sadqa money can be used. And you have a prominent alim that you got this verdict from, this Islamic verdict. Though, I think you alluded to the fact that you didn't specify this clearly in your video, the Do Not Donate campaign have stopped your donations. That's exactly what we were actually wanting to reduce your donation, not actually to stop them, but obviously we've gone above and beyond that, with the brothers, with the assistance of the brothers. Alhamdulillah, very, very beautiful and peaceful protest on our part. It really, really went down well. You accuse us of thuggery, goons. Could you stop mimicking our language? The goons are on your part. We do not endorse violent behavior. We do not endorse mosque volunteers grabbing elderly gentlemen by the genitals whilst they're peacefully protesting. So, you refer to us as goons. Likewise, you have a number of goons on your side as well. However, you say that the masjid has a massive amount of reserves. If that's the case, and it's confusing to the general public out there, why did you have to dip your hand into the sadaqah reserved, non-permitted bank account? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You've got massive reserves, people are donating left, right and centre, and then you intend to use the sadaqah money, which is used for building wells in poor countries where they have no clothing, no coffee to drink, nothing to eat, Pakistan, Nepal, India, building wells, Uganda, Africa, anywhere around the world, South America, building schools, leaving a legacy for Wembley Masjid. Other masjids do it, and they put it on their notice boards with regards to the good work that they've done around the world with their sadaqah money. But you chose to pay bills, gas bills, electricity bills, maintenance, building works that were, there was no consultation with the congregation, and there was nothing of the thought. There was nothing of the sort. Anyway, so it's been done now, but obviously sadaqah money has been misappropriated. And yet you say you have massive amount of reserve. So you kind of like did really look stupid in the video, Mr. Behmani. Okay. And again, you stated that there's a healthy amount of reserves. So can we assume that the £22,000 that you withdrew from the sadaqah reserve bank account has now been paid back? Okay. The problem with sadaqah money is that there isn't any audit trail as to where it went. We don't know where it's gone, what it's been spent on. it's just kind of like disappeared into the ether. Again, you state that you have a highly regarded opinion and fatwa from an ulama or alim, okay, with regards to your approach on misappropriating the sadaqah money. And I'm going to say misappropriating it, okay? So you have to really come clean with this. What happened to the sadaqah money? How much was spent? Exactly what was it spent on? I mean, you've kind of dug a hole for yourself, which is, look, it's raining out there. It's fine, you can ban me from the masjid. I don't have to be in the masjid to, raise these concerns and issues. It's something that you need to spearhead and address. Okay. I haven't watched the interview. I haven't watched it. I don't intend to listen to your voice and a lot of the brothers involved in the Do Not Donate movement, I don't intend to listen to your voice or look at your face, be that physically or on some sort of other sort of interface or format. You then went on to state, and this is what I was advised by some other brothers, that you can't hold an election. It will take at least 8 to 10 months to arrange elections. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have you're only arranging an election for 1,500 people approximately that are going to be potentially voting. If we were to hypothetically go ahead, let's just say we've agreed to 8 months, there's going to be an election taking place. We hypothetically now go ahead into the future, 8 months away from now, into the future. And we've got Ramadan before then. We have Ramadan before then. And we're arranging an election for 1,500. It takes 8 months to organise that. Or does it take 8 months to to build up your database of, let's not go into the 300 applications or membership forms put in at the last minute, which effectively translate into votes, don't they? Really and truly, at that point in time. I've asked Mubashir this and he had really no response. We have a country of 67.1 million people, approximately 70 million. All right, let's just round out, 70 million people, okay? We have managed to arrange the recent general election within 3 to 4 months. And you can't arrange an election for approximately 1,500. And there may not even be that many people voting or putting their ballot papers forward. What is it for? Do you want to build up a database again? And should you be in charge of the database? Should you be in charge of it? That's where the massive scandal came from last time around. Again, another issue you raised, the fact that many of the committee members and volunteers, because of the tensions that have culminated from this whole issue and concern with regards to the masjid and regards to the group or the worship, with regards to the worshippers that want you out of the masjid or that want you to resign from the masjid, has led to tensions. You go as far as to say that you allege, I mean there is no evidence about this, you allege that some of your volunteers or committee members, and let's be honest, you said that the General Secretary's wife, in no uncertain terms, has asked for a divorce from the General Secretary. We know who the General, I don't even wish to take his name, we know who it is, okay? Has asked for a divorce from his husband because it's created such tensions, marital tensions, that it's led to the fact that where the wife has asked for a divorce. You then go on to state that there were threat letters sent by worshippers that wanted the committee to leave, or even the Do Not Donate brothers, allegedly that these goons or someone that is opposed to the committee has sent threat letters. This is absolute nonsensical, irrelevant. There's been nothing of the sort, and you're aware of that. Letters. Why didn't you produce them in the interview then? If you had these letters, threat letters, that were going to come around to your house and protest, why didn't you produce them? Again, going back to Mr. Sheikh's wife, the General Secretary's wife that day, I've seen the videos. She really needs to learn manners. That's not the actions of a individual that is cowering and fearing for her life. That's not the actions of an individual. She was quite rude, quite repugnant. I don't think in the footage that I saw, there were no brothers entering her property. Everything was done on the pavement peacefully. It was spontaneous. It wasn't planned, as far as I'm aware. And it was a peaceful walk. There wasn't a march going to anyone's house. We weren't marching. So could you please stop using this divisive language, because you're only going to get me correcting you. We know that the Metropolitan Police does watch these videos. So again, we put to you that, you really have to stop putting these lies forward. You state that you care about the community so much. One of the first points that I observed in the video was you stating that speakers, why you wouldn't allow speakers that were commonly and periodically invited by the Imam, invited by Imam Abdul Sattar on a routine basis. All of a sudden, they had to be authorized and assessed by you. And these were speakers that were, coming there for years, giving khutbahs. I had listened to myself many years. All of a sudden, and then they have to be assessed. Oh no. Sorry, the words you used verbatim in your interview was they had to be risk assessed. Who risk assessed the block fire exit? That one can only assume the block fire exit that stopped potentially 250 worshippers to 200 to 300 worshippers during Isha prayers to potentially not being able to get out in the case of an emergency or some other form of concern or issue or emergency that can arise. You've seen what's going on in the media nowadays. I'm not going to go into any massive detail, but we need a safe fire exit. How long was that fire exit blocked off with a plank of wood, with an 8-foot plank of wood, drilled in with 15 screws, approximately 15 screws, 8-inch screws, that thick. So they went through this plank of wood and then they went through a massive 3-inch door. How long was that fire exit blocked for? God knows what was happening on the lady's side. God knows what was happening on the sister's side. So this is how much you care about. You want to risk assess the speakers that come into the masjid, yet you fail to risk assess the fire exit, which could have potentially led to injury or serious, even death in an incident. That was the only fire exit on the men's side, on the brother's side, that we had to leave the hall. Other than that, all the fire exits are at the entrance. There isn't any other fire exit. So that was quite disgusting and despicable of you. Hence, it showed your reprehensive nature towards your worshippers. The same people that donate to your masjid, the same people that pay the electricity and the wages for the tuition center, for the electricity, for the gas, for the amenities, for the general upkeep of the masjid. So this is a sort of disdain and disrespect you show for the local Muslim community. I love you so much that we're going to leave your main fire exit blocked. How great does that look? Yet you're so worried about risk assessing the speakers. Wow. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Mr. Behmani, again, I'm going to reiterate that we need you to stand down. The local community have lost confidence in you. They've lost confidence in you. We need you to stand down respectfully. Again, you're very, very commonly known for lying. The other night, you offered to hand over the keys to a respected brother in the presence of 2 police officers. There was an interview that took place upstairs in the office, and again, you took your brother upstairs and you spun a yarn of mistruths and lies. So the brother came down advising us that you, in front of a whole number of witnesses, I'll give you the keys. Who wants the keys? Then, when you had concluded your meeting with him, you stated to him, I didn't say that I will give you the keys. I stated that who wanted the keys. What sort of magician are you? You guys are upset about that I call you Illuminati. Look at the mind tricks that you're playing with the general public, with the worshippers of the masjid. What is this? Some sort of joke, Alhamdulillah, you need to do what you need to do. We need to do what we need to do. And we'll just carry on. And obviously, Alhamdulillah, I've respected your wishes. I'm not going to enter the masjid. I have no reason to enter the masjid, but I am going to peacefully protest outside on the pavement of the masjid and pray there as well, inshallah, if I can, weather permitting. But the other 11 or 10 brothers that you've warned not to go onto the masjid premises, they are going to negate and ignore your request. I am now going to tell you that. But I will continue to document your injustices, and it's what we do. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a trained journalist, but I don't mind standing in front of a camera, and for the sake of the ummah and for the love of Allah, I will do this. Okay. You need to go. Our community is diverse. It's a beautiful community, and it's brought us closer together. It's brought us so close together. There were brothers that I never used to speak to, and out of your ill thought out, inappropriate actions, you've just solidified and consolidated our community. That's what you've done. You've done nothing else. Mashallah, it's even increased my business. But listen, look, I'm going to cut this interview short. There will be a longer, point-by-point, categoric rebuttal, rebuking of the concerns and issues and allegations you had raised in your 23-minute, and that's going to be done very, very shortly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.